Hello. You right? How are you doing?
Hello. Yeah, I'm good. I'm fine. I think my internet's messing around, you know.
I think mine is as well. So, welcome anybody that's watching. If you are watching, please make sure you put a comment on that box over there. Sorry, so we can have a look at it and read it out. If you've got any questions at all, drop them in the chat. We are live on YouTube at the moment. So if you're listening to this in the car on the podcast, without the televisionary bits, once we release it, then obviously don't comment and don't look at the screen over there, because you need to concentrate on what you're doing on the road or whatever you do.
It might not be. It might be in a truck.
Oh, I could be doing it also. Well, yes. Don't watch this while driving a truck. That would be quite off-putting, I would think.
You've got to be diverse in your vehicular usage.
Oh, such words. Yeah, apologies first of all. Been a bit messy this time around. What with car bits falling off and life and forgetfulness, I think, and miscommunications, and I could throw loads of excuses at you, but the truth of the matter is it didn't happen, and we're here now. So, sorry.
Yeah. It has been poor. It has been poor. We haven't been on it as much as we had been, which sucks. Because I like doing this stuff.
It does suck.
There's so much going on at the moment. It's insane. But hey, whatever. We
are sort of getting better, though, in fairness, because you make a face like that, and I can't describe it for those that haven't got it on the visual stuff. We have actually recorded an interview, which we can't say anything about right now, but that'll be released later on. It was going to come with this, but then it wasn't, and it's been just been messy all around. So yes, we have been busy, and obviously we're getting ready for Telford. And getting me nuts ready, polishing them up, ready to dish them out to people.
Oh, we're going to talk about that.
We are going to talk about that, definitely.
Write that down.
It was like a little segue to build up to, and of course, we're going to talk about Moosaroo, what we've been doing on the bench, because we have been busy, as Malcolm said. So, last thing I'm going to say before I go, because there are a couple of people watching. There is Gordon from Canada. He said, good morning, all the way over there. And we've got Ben saying afternoon from London. Thanks for tuning in. So we're going to talk about all those bits and pieces we talked about a minute ago, but also I can do something a little bit unusual to what we have ever done before, which is the topic for this particular podcast is glue and grandpa or granddads, glue and granddads or grandpas, nans. Generational model making is basically what we want to talk about. However, before we pressed the live button, we suddenly had a brainwave, and that's why we both look so exhausted. In that we could put the question out to you guys that are listening to this, and revisit this maybe in our next episode or so, where you tell us about your experiences of generational model making. So, Malcolm, what do I mean by that?
So what differences are there between how you model make with your kids, if you have kids, and what the differences were between you and your grandparents or your parents when they were model making with you, if you did? I imagine there would be differences, and I can't imagine all the weird tools that my dad had, and they're all kind of rustied up now. But I mean, like all the different sort of sanders and circle cutters and things like that my dad had were all kind of big and heavy and rusty. So they probably always were.
Yeah.
But my ones are all kind of nice and new and clean. I don't know why there's that a difference. Cleanliness
Well,
difference? I don't know.
I certainly, from my point of view, I remember with my dad, we had tools that we made do tools, if you know what I mean. They
Yeah.
weren't specific for model making, so they were things that my dad may have fashioned or adapted. Like, for example, me using my, I could, don't get me wrong, tweezers were around when I started model making, but I used my mum's tweezers that she pulled hairs out with. Because they just happened to be what I could get hold of. So, so those sort of things, really. I mean, obviously, the product side of things has changed quite a lot as well,
Yeah.
possibly. So
Maybe they need less work. Maybe, because like you.
Wow.
Did I say that out loud? They might need, less work. I suppose. I mean, I can't remember my dad getting the kit and building it, and then only having that. It would be something else could go on it, and it would be with something else, and there'd be a lot of kind of extra scratch building bits of plastic all over the place and things like that. It certainly was messier. I'm absolutely sure of it. I'm absolutely sure of it. But
I
I
think
was probably young,
I
and
think I would agree.
yeah, I probably didn't really notice the how clean it was, maybe. But anyway, yeah.
I think there was
Yeah,
certainly from my perspective, scratch building, a lot more scratch building than I remember. Whether that was down to the fact of availability of things or availability of funds. Maybe we're just luckier to have more disposable income now than back in the day.
Maybe. I mean, maybe spend more money on model making than my dad did comparatively, perhaps.
Yeah.
Ruddy Chef is in.
Oh, he is.
Noticed. Yeah.
He is. Hello.
This is the afternoon, folks. Hello, Mr. Ian.
Mr. Ian. I'm just it is playing up. Every time I tickle my buttons, it's not really doing very much.
Oh dear.
That might be age. But yeah, certainly disposable income or at least buying stuff. I certainly bought an awful lot more than my dad did. And my dad would probably scratch build an awful lot more. I don't know if he would scratch build an awful lot more because I do love a bit of scratch building.
Oh, I do now.
No, I suppose that statement's true. Yeah, no, because I think that is true because obviously I might buy, for example, some photo etch for putting on my rifles.
Right.
So I've got straps on my rifles. That's what I was thinking of, straps, sorry. Whereas my dad may have fashioned them out of masking tape and something else. So it would be scratch built rather than me reaching for something that's easy. Although putting buckles on straps on 135th is not easy.
No. Did you find those black and white transfers you were looking for?
So, I'm glad you mentioned that, actually. No, I didn't. However, I'm going to make some of myself.
Fair enough.
Of myself? No, I'm not going to make transfers of myself because that would look wrong on my face on the arm of a World War figure.
It's easier to print them in black and white than it would be to colour. No?
This is what basically I got some advice from somebody, and the description of what they said to do sounds quite doable. I wouldn't say easy because I don't think I'm going to be that mad, but certainly doable. Although I did end the conversation with, I'll give it a go. However, I might use your phone number on speed dial to go help me out because I'm an idiot.
Right, gotcha. So these are the patches for the black and white figures that you're painting. If you want patches on the arms, you can get them in colour, can't you? But
that's correct, yeah. So I have actually got the decals for the 135th 101st Paratroopers, and they've got their shoulder shoulder. No, not shoulder, is it? So it's on the arm. So you got your American flag and whatever else goes on the arms. Anyway,
eagle.
Yeah, I've got those in eagle. Yes, the bald eagle. So I could actually do a picture of my face. Anyway, I wonder. Do you know I might
halfway
do that on just
there?
one.
Yeah,
I might do that on just one figure to see if anyone notices, just for fun.
we're going to be
That's my
looking
little
for
Easter egg. Although, yeah, I told everyone. Anyway, yeah. Funny enough, actually, the paper etc. for that is turning up in the next hour or so. So, yeah,
exciting.
hopefully.
Joe
Yeah.
McCaslin is in. Says tickle the buttons? Question mark.
Yes, you have to tickle your buttons, Jay. Otherwise, things don't pop up on the screen.
Yes. It's the thing we're using to record all this stuff is buttons to press. I don't get any buttons to press because I don't have control, which is awesome.
Yeah,
Let's get to sit back and watch.
I have asked him several times to take control of buttons, but he won't. So, hey.
Responsibility,
yeah,
do I?
Yeah, no, well, yeah. I don't know quite how that happened, but anyway, you got sidetracked.
What else are you working on other than your black and white memory sequence, or what you're calling it?
Right. So, basically, I've got a memorial build, which is to do with 101st Airborne for D-Day. 12 figures. I think there is in all 12. Basically, a stick. So it's the correct amount of figures for a stick of paratroopers that would have got into a C-47.
A stick.
A stick. I think that's what they called them.
Okay.
So I think that I'm right in saying that's 12 members. 2, 4, 12 members. So I just had a quick count. So 12 figures, and then they're all in black and white on a circular base. And then at the front is an older person, sat on a bench, and it's meant to be the reflection of his thoughts, of him remembering his buddies that have maybe been lost, either in conflict or through age, nondescript. So, but he's by himself, basically.
Yeah.
And the lovely thing about that front figure is the facial features are very, very limited. So it's almost, it is definitely out of focus. It's the best way I can put it. So, that sort of makes him a bit anonymous, which I thought was quite cool. But yeah, so I'm working on that. It's nearly finished. As Malcolm's alluded to, I've got some decals to make, basically fix the scene. I have, as it happens, I don't know if we talked about this before anywhere else, but so I have got a wooden round base, which would have been a two similar pieces and some rods in between, which was a spice rack or something like that. I think it was.
Right.
Obviously, I've manipulated it, and on top of that is a circular bit of foam, which is black foam. So the sides of that black foam were visual. You could see it basically. Visible. Right. Sorry. I have now made the side wooden.
Ooh, how did you do that?
I used some veneer.
Veneer.
So
you got veneer on your vinaigrette?
Well, I'll just reach over there because it's not quite as near as I thought it was. But this veneer here.
Veneer.
If you can see that.
I can.
For those that you're watching on YouTube, what I'm going to do, I'm going to make myself a bit bigger so you can see. And this is where the joy of the buttons come in.
Just move it closer to the screen. That's all.
No, because it's high. Then I'm in shadow. You see, right?
I can see it from here. It's fine. I can see it. It's fine.
You can see me veneer from there.
I can clearly see your veneer.
So as you can see, it's nice. It all matches the wooden base now. So yeah, I'm pretty proud of that. It didn't stick down 100% as I wanted, so there's a little bit of touchy-feely to go on.
Right.
Because I don't know why, just the way I glued it on there just didn't necessarily glue properly. Anyway, so it's a little bit filler to do, but anyway, we won't tell.
Okay,
no one will know.
You can fill that. You can sort that out.
Oh, it's easy peasy. So yeah, that is my achievement this week.
Cool.
I'm totally honest. I'm so super chuffed to that. So that's that done. I will actually change the camera because that would have been logical to do that. The other thing I have been working on is
want to
I
see
am
your
current.
semen.
Well, you say that anyway. The other thing I've been working on is a 148 P47, which is in a video build on my channel.
How's that going?
It's going really. I love the kit. It's really the detail is phenomenal. So hopefully, now there's an app for this. For those of you driving your truck, don't worry. This won't really matter too much to you. But yes. So if I can just get that into shots. No, away from me, away to you, to me, to you, to me. There you go. So as you can see, this is a part of the cockpit. If I can keep it in. There you go. I've obviously got the instrument panel there, etc., which is all decals. But it looks quite nice. And then obviously the side, which has got lots of decals and bits and pieces on it. And that's the two main sides. And then you've got the third side, which is all like that. So this isn't complete yet. The reason being is I've done a little bit of the detail work on it, so all the decals are on, and I've painted the end of my knobs a bit, but I've got more knobs to fiddle with later. And the reason for that is that when we do our next live, which is this Saturday, the 12th, Carl and I are both at the same point, and I will live color the ends of me switches and bits and pieces on this side, and do all the finer bits and pieces, so people can see what I've done rather than me just go done it. So that's really cool. I've really enjoyed that. And while I've got the camera like that, what I will do is I'll show you.
So you're going to be polishing up your knobs on camera?
Yeah, live polishing of knobs.
We'll have to put that link in the
yes,
somewhere.
So in wherever it goes.
Yeah, good.
So this is going back to what we were talking about a minute ago about the paratroopers nondescript person in front, la di da. But I wanted to show me veneer. That's what I wanted to show you.
I see where the gap is between the two.
Yeah, I purposely picked that bit because it's the worst bit.
Oh, it's at the front as well.
It is at the front. However, that's fine because at the back it looks perfect.
Oh, yeah.
So at the front, it's not a problem actually, because initially I was quite annoyed by it, thinking, "Oh, I can't believe I did that." Oh, blah blah blah. But I can actually fiddle around with that and make it look better. So that's all good.
Okay, so you can fill it in with a bit of grass and stuff, can't you?
I'm going to fill it in with a little bit of filler, and then I'm going to paint it, match it in, blend it in with everything else. So it's not a problem. Not a problem. Yeah, I'm not bothered by it. The only other thing in which I will show, and then we're going to come over to you, is there's no progress
on
my base.
Right, submarine base thing. Yes.
So this is my submarine base for the upcoming thing we're going to talk about. And the reason I've done that is because I haven't played the jingle, so we can't talk about it.
No, we can't talk about it yet. The M word.
I've been playing with my base, and I'm at the point where I have locked everything down, and we are going to do a bit of pouring of resin. And I just haven't had a chance to do it. So,
okay, cool. Well, to describe it for the people who haven't got a screen.
Oh yes, of course.
Do you want me to do it? You do it.
Yeah, you can do it. I shall do the holding up and twiddling it round.
Okay, so we're looking at a 7-inch square, and it's a deep filled box. One corner of it looks like a dry dock, all nicely painted. All the bricks are individually painted, I believe, and there's like a little outlet for water on one side. Other side. You've got your screen on kind of thin. You've got it on wide.
Yes.
Right. Okay. So yeah, there is a drain there. He's refusing to show his hole. And at the base, it's all kind of damp and wet, ready, I assume, for pouring, huh?
It is. So what I've done on the base is I've put a little bit of structural gel in here. The reason being is I wanted a muddy base.
Yeah.
So that I've got to paint anyway, so it's muddy. and then I'll pour a little bit of resin in. I will sit the subs in, because there are 2 on mine, and then I'll fill it up a little bit more and then leave it. But like you said, it is a dry dock in theory, or at least a dock of some description where the water or tide has gone out.
Well, it's currently dry.
It's currently very dry.
Soon to be wet.
Yes, I'm just going to wet me bits when I get round to it. And now, there we go. So, yeah, that's me. Before we get to you, because I want to get to you, I'm super excited to find out what you've been doing. Oh my God, this is working so slow. Let's catch up with this chat that is there. We've got Jim from Chicago. He's saying hello from Chicago.
He's in everything. He's always around. It's brilliant.
He said, just sub to this channel, courtesy Bearded Veteran and Dark Side Modelling. Oh, hello. He's very good at chopping the names, isn't he? Yeah.
Yep.
Joe's just saying, Jim, you wouldn't be sorry. Good guys and entertaining to watch. He's definitely watching a different channel.
He's talking about Bearded Veteran and Dark Side Modelling. He's not talking about us.
Okay, fair enough. And Jim's just saying, thank you, Joe. Malcom and James are both great blokes. Oh, good blokes. Sorry, I'm making the words up. So there you go. So yes, that gives us a nice little segue for this.
Moosaroo Cup. Moosaroo Cup.
Let's talk about the Moosaroo Cup. Boom. Woo-hoo.
What's funny?
Moosaroo Cup. Moosaroo Cup.
Let's talk about the
funny because I
Moosaroo
didn't
Cup.
hear a thing.
Woo-hoo.
There we go.
Oh, you didn't hear it?
No.
They played twice.
Moosaroo Cup.
Stop now.
Yeah, I didn't hear it the first time. I heard it the second time. Anyway.
Okay. And
yes,
the third.
let's talk about the Moosaroo. Oh, no, I
loop?
don't. I think someone may have accidentally put it on loop, yes.
Yeah, don't put it on loop. That would be embarrassing.
No.
Moosaroo Cup, yeah. Moosaroo Cup. Right. What have I done? So I can't remember what we talked about last time. Can you make me wide on the screen rather than this thin,
yeah, I can do. Let me just
going on.
if I press that button there.
There we go. That's better. All that real estate that we can use now.
Oh.
Switch my camera. My apologies for people who are not listening. No, I mean not looking. Here is my submarine currently. Right. So ignore that for a sec. This bit is the submarine. It is all primed up, front, back, side, top, front and back, and underneath. Would you believe? It is the Sea Hund. This is the ICM kit that we've both been working on. Mine is going to be going into the competition. James is just kindly doing it as a I don't know, like a pacemaker. You know, when you have runners and you have pacemakers. And I guess you're just kind of running alongside. You know.
Yeah.
When you see rowing races, you see kids on bikes kind of trying to keep up with the rowers. That's kind of what you're doing, isn't it?
So hang on. You just tried to create an image of me on a bike as a kid trying to keep up.
With me in a boat.
With me a stalker going, this bike isn't working on this river.
Or when a train comes in, you know, there's people running alongside of it. So anyway, I what I'm trying to say is mine is the one that's going to be entered. That's what I'm trying to say. So I'm taking it super, super, super slow. Inside currently is the whole interior. That's all done. And scratch built and stuff. And there will be photographs of that somewhere. I can't remember if we put them up or not, but probably not.
There will be. There will
be
somewhere on there. Yeah.
Cool. And the propeller end here is done. I just haven't put the propeller in yet. I haven't put any of the periscopes in yet because it's still in painting stage, and I'll just knock it all off. Probably something I'll go in last. But yeah, so you can see that this side is untouched, but this side has had a cut line coming straight down on the right-hand side like this. So this whole hull and the torpedo is missing because we can be looking through that hole that it's made. Which means because of the stipulations of the rules of the Moosaroo Cup, it needs to be in a diorama or a vignette, or it needs to be in an environment of sorts, right? So very similar to James, I'm also going to be putting mine into resin. So I've got a little box here. I did have a little drawing of what I'm going to do. Let me just reach over here. Ow.
I promise you, they're not sound effects. That is live reactions.
Here's my amazing drawings. I had like kind of different ideas and things like that. So like people fishing, or I think that was someone else's idea. Oh yeah, it's Mikey's. I have it like that. There's a boat in there in the resin. But what I did in the end, it's fish. What I did in the end was settle on this one. Okay, so the submarine will be going along with a block of resin on one side and the open part of the submarine on the other side. But it won't be as far into the cut as it is in that picture. It'll be further back, right? And then I redrew it again using my amazing drawing skills, trying not to show my other notes, like that. Okay, so that'll be it. Underneath, if I'm looking for underneath. Okay, don't know why I drew it like that. Right, so not helped anybody who's listening on podcast, but basically it's a submarine on its side in a box. All right, so I'm going to put it in like that. Yeah. And this will be the base here. This will be all the rocks and reeds and boulders and riverbed will be along here. And then this will be in here on top of the box, and then it'll be filled with resin up to the line. Okay, that's the plan. So I've built my box, but as you can see, this is the thickest plastic card I have, and it's really squidgy on the sides. So as soon as I get anything with any weight in there, it's going to go boom and bow. So I don't want it to do that. So I need to rebuild this box better. And also, obviously, you're going to go on.
No, go on.
You're going to get where I've taped it. And if I pour resin in there, you're going to see that impression of that, because it's basically like a mold, isn't it? You're going to see an impression of the corners that I folded in the actual resin. So I need to sort that out. So I'll probably ditch this, use this as a template for the size, because I think it's perfect size-wise, but then build something much better and sturdier. Maybe use Lego or something, hold it all in.
Right. That was what I was about to say to you is, so for the benefit of those driving their truck and unable to look at the screen, the plastic card that Malcolm has put together has got some masking tape around the edges of the base. So as you're looking into the box, if you like. So what you could actually do is, if you put some masking tape for the whole length of what that base is, yes, it will give you some ups and downs a little bit. However, that's beneficial. I'll explain why in a second. But if you build some Lego walls around that box, so don't scrap it at all, use the box, but Lego, put it on a piece of Lego and build your brick wall up around all of the sides. That'll hold it up.
Yeah.
And then what you can do is you can pour a little bit of resin in, let it set. Then that'll give you the ability to get your reeds in place and all that sort of stuff with a little bit of resin in there. Then put your submarine in, build up the resin. For two reasons. That will give you a base so it doesn't go to completely mad. And you've got it under control. But also, once you take it out of the mold, which is what that box is effectively making, is a mold, you can then turn it over and you can sand the resin smooth, which will get rid of any imperfections from your masking tape, but will also give you a very polished and very nice looking front.
Right. Okay. I see. Yeah. Yes. So I'll use this as a template. I won't get rid of it. I'll use it as a template.
Because then you should be able to just slip it out of that template, in theory, having it out of the mold.
Yes. Yeah. In theory. Yes. I will get myself some better plastic cards. This is stuff although it feels thick when you've got it in this A4 stage, as you start cutting it up, it suddenly goes much more flimsy. I thought this stuff was good enough. Yeah, there you go. That's where I am with the old Moosaroo Cup. I think I'm on. Yeah, I think I'm doing okay. I think I'll probably definitely finish it. I'll definitely finish it before March.
Oh yeah,
I
no,
want to
you
get it
definitely finish
finished
it.
and done and sorted and sent. That's my plan.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, you should be fine with that. The timing's great. The work you've been doing is great. The interior, although you can't show it here, the interior, you've really gone to town. You've got 2 people inside the sub. You've done all the engine. You've done the batteries. You've done periscope. You've done all. There isn't really anything that I can see, certainly from the pictures I've seen and the reference pictures. I think you've pretty much nailed the interior.
Oh, thank you. Well, we'll see.
I think so. But yeah, I was looking through squinted eyes. I'm joking. Go on.
I don't know if we have. Yeah, anything I do have. We do have a picture of it. I'd share that. That's cool.
Yeah,
All right.
we'll put it up. Yeah, do it. While you're doing that,
right.
I'll just catch up with the chat. Billy Veteran is in the chat, and he says you could put a box into a Lego mold, move the masking tape, and use UV resin to seal the corners, then pour the resin in. That's another option. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
That'll work.
That's not. He also says that you need to put some fishes in there, Malcolm. He has got a thing about fishes, isn't he?
I don't want to ruin it, you know. I don't want to put fish in there and then ruin it.
1/72 fishes is going to be quite difficult, I think.
I'd just say there's fish eggs. You just can't see them.
Well, I think maybe you just have to put the fish in and let the people decide where they are. Anyway, so let's have a quick look at the picture that Malcolm has just put in the studio.
So this is the photograph I took, a couple of months ago? Yeah, a couple of weeks ago, I think, because I've done a little bit extra. Maybe, yeah. Yeah, so the last thing I think I did was put that belt on the guy at the front, life jacket on the guy in the back, and I just cleaned it up a bit because it was looking a bit blotchy. Obviously when you zoom into things like this, it always goes blotchy, but I certainly did clean it up a bit because I felt it was a bit. Bleh. So yeah, but that's the interior. It's so funny because there's so many bits in there from broken toys and cars and other models, all sorts of bits and pieces. It's fairly accurate in that that's kind of where everything is, you know, in terms of where the diesel engine at the back is and the batteries at the very front is, and there's a bulkhead and yada yada yada. But it's not, exactly correct, obviously.
No,
it's
at the end of the day,
detail.
Exactly what I was going to say. And it gives a really good impression. I got to be honest. Just the fact that those figures in there sort of tells you how cramped the conditions were, and I think it's brilliant.
Cool.
But
thank you.
I'm biased. What can I say?
Also, I put a periscope assembly in the front as well, so the guy in the front is kind of stooping to look through the periscope, which he would have done, and they would have stood on their chair and stood up straight to look out the little dome on the top. So I kind of wanted to show that you can do that. So yeah, he's looking out there. What else? It's the diesel engine at the back. That's a traffic light laying down. You can see the top, where the lights are. You can see the sort of sun shield. At the front. There's parts of Star Wars 1/44 scale A-wings in there. that bit near the second guy is that panel is from Star Wars. That is a brake caliper, which as a bulkhead at the front. So that's a brake disc for 1/24 scale Corvette, I think, and the caliper, and then the all those bits and pieces from all other bits of kits and stuff. Yeah, so there we go.
Brilliant.
All fun. I really, really, really enjoyed that. Building that.
Yeah.
Absolutely loved it. Really did.
Yeah, I think that's the thing, though, isn't it? Is you really enjoy doing the scratch building, and your imagination. No, imagination is the wrong word. The visualization of what things can be, is the fun bit, Whereas with me, my scratch building, I get a bit of balsa wood and make a cupboard and whatever.
Yeah.
That's the sort of scratch building I enjoy doing. But you've got that visualization, which I don't always have. I've got to be honest. I find it quite difficult. But
I guess I just didn't care, so just had fun with it.
No, you've got to enjoy it.
Mm.
At the end of the day, that's what the whole thing is, isn't it? You've got to enjoy it. So, the Moosaroo build, Moosaroo Cup build, is an ICM kit. It's kit S20, I believe, 172nd, and it is a pair of midget submarines.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, quite a nice build. I've built both of them, and they're really easy to put together, and they're quite fun actually. And even I haven't told you this, but I have actually got the Sea Hund in a bigger scale.
Oh right, okay.
And I have to confess, submarines are really not something that I find anything interesting about. However, I do have that kit upstairs, and it has made me think what I can do with it, because I really enjoyed putting it together. So
you could open the side up and scratch build the interior.
Well, I could do that, or I could, not. But yeah, no, it's really cool. What else have you been? Is that all you've been playing with in the on the bench?
Yeah, because I tend to do only one model kit at a time. I'll sometimes paint another figure as well, but I haven't got anything that's going on at the same time. No, I haven't. I did have a little look at this orc guy that I've got, this little dude.
Mm-hmm.
To paint him up. He's been primed for a couple of years and just sat there. But no, other than that, no, I haven't got anything else going on. Just that submarine. Been very busy, unfortunately. All with work and family and everything else. Busy.
Jim says there his scratch building skills are a wee bit sloppy due to his sausage fingers. Makes construction of small parts kind of difficult. Well, yeah, but what you've got to remember as someone to look up to, Malcolm has pig-tick fingers. So, if he can do it, anyone can. just to prove the point, there are those fingers indeed. You can read that, Malcolm, because that involves a long word.
A heightened ability to visualize. This is a bearded veteran correct, which is Mikey. It says a heightened ability to visualize that which does not exist is called hyperphantasia. Yeah, there you go.
Does that mean you have to dress up as a mouse?
No. No, I know.
Okay.
I know where you're going, but no, nothing to do with mops either.
No. Okay.
So yeah, no mice involved at all. Right. So that's the last kit that I've been working on. Generally.
Yeah. So I like I say, I'll be doing the P47 this weekend. Do you know I've managed to do 3 live streams in a row on a Saturday.
Yeah.
In 3 weeks. Isn't that amazing?
That's amazing. Tell us about your gearbox then, because people will be wanting to know what the deal is. What happened when you were supposed to be going live?
This is it. This is it. Malcolm very kindly put a post up in the Facebook page explaining our lackadaisical attitude to being on time with our scheduled podcasting.
Yeah.
In the fact that he blamed my gearbox, which is quite right.
Yes.
So basically, what happened was I went to the vets, because you always take I always find taking the gearbox to a vet's works really, really well. Yeah, they can top up the fluids and chip off the spark plug bits and pieces. No, I'm joking, obviously. Yeah, we went to take our new addition to the family, a little kitten, to the vets for its second jab, And I could go into a long, boring story about how the idiot that tried to squeeze past me caused the whole problem. But the truth of the matter is, I lost my rag and switched my gear from reverse to forward a little bit too fast, possibly. And then found I had no ability to go forward or back in any power or way whatsoever.
Right.
So, as it happened, it was the day of the said podcast recording that we were going to do. And I had to send Malcolm a message saying I am stuck away from my bench, not quite sure what to do. I think the gearbox has gone in the car, etc., etc. The good news is it hasn't cost me a fortune to repair because I just got all the bits, picked all the bits up and threw it back in the casing and went jiggle, 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 and it works fine. No, I'm joking.
Oh.
Yeah, my scratch building abilities all come to point. No, they didn't. Yeah, so the long story short is that it turned out it wasn't the gearbox, thankfully, and it was a broken drive shaft instead. So it was a lot less money to repair. I was really worried that it was going to be a new car. But yeah, and the perfect part about it is that the garage that fixed it was next to the vets, so that worked really well.
Oh wow!
So I didn't have to tow it, even though I got the AA out because the mechanic in the garage couldn't find the ability to walk out of the door of the garage and walk across the road to where the car was to assess the damage as to whether he could fix it or not.
Right.
So to go back the following day.
You had to work on it on the premises.
Yeah. I had to wait for the following day and call out a recovery company to look at it, to assess it. And initially it was a case of, it's knackered. So we pushed it up the road. And then when he was doing all the straps underneath, he said, "Oh, do you realise you've got a broken drive shaft?" I said, "Well, no, because I'm not a mechanic. That's pretty much why I called you out." So we then pushed it all the way back down the road to the garage. I went in, threw the keys at the guy and said, "Can you fix it?" He booked it in for Monday. And he phoned me late on Friday before the Monday to say it was fixed. Come pick it up. So that was pretty good service, I got to say. But yeah, it was
good.
Quite traumatic, but yeah,
well,
it was good.
We're sad that we missed you. A lot of people were sad that they. His life. We're weirdly gonna. Oh, Jim says enjoying very much your P37 build, Mr. Skippins.
Ooh, thank you very much, Jim.
I'll say I've watched it. Saturdays I've got the other club, haven't I? So
there's lots going on Saturday.
So Saturdays are busy for me.
But we're going to.
Right,
we're
are we done? Is everything covered? Is that all bases?
We have covered everything. What we'd like you to do, the listener, is to send in through Facebook and all the normal ways your stories or your thoughts about our topic in relation to generational model building, and we can pop back to this, as we said or alluded to at the beginning of the podcast, and look at how that all worked for everybody. So so Benny's saying robot Malcolm
maybe
returns.
Did the stream drop a little bit? Did it?
It might have dropped a little bit. That might be Malcolm's internet or mine. I don't know. I'm sorry, but I don't have an awful lot of ability to change that, other than wetting the end of my finger and sticking it out the window.
Maybe you need to lick your pig.
Well, yes, I'm sure pigs have been neglected. So you're probably right. Definitely. I was very good there, wasn't I? Anyway, you might notice that there has been a change in the way things are. I am the well-behaved man, and the naughty schoolboy's over there, not me.
Well, it's because you've got all the buttons to press and all the things to do, and you're kind of thinking outside the box. You're not thinking about making jokes and stuff like that.
Is that why you maybe pressed all the buttons? Is to control?
Anyway, right, all done. We're finished now.
Right. Anyway, thanks for watching, everybody, and tuning in live. Yes, it is a bit ad hoc at the moment, but as you know, that's how we're going to roll for a little while. And we'll speak to you.
We've got an interview coming up. Look out for that.
Oh, yes. Don't miss out. There's a special interview coming up, and that will go out separately.
Yeah. Cool.
See you later. Bye.
Bye.
Keep waving. Keep waving.